Good morning, students of class 10. Yeah, welcome back to the e-classes now. We are doing history. So today's date is 23rd of June 2021. So the nationalist movement in Indochina, we are doing this chapter. And here is the subtitle 6.0, the communist movement and Vietnamese nationalism. So now we'll talk about the new leader now here. There are altogether only 5 points. We'll talk about this now. Number 1, listen carefully and try to follow. The Great Depression of the 1930s. So we know it very well. In our class 9 also we have learned about Great Depression. The Great Depression of the 1930s had a deep impact on Vietnam. It had a deep impact. Impact means effect on Vietnam. The prices of rice and the rubber, which they used to export and earn the income. The prices of rubber and rice and rubber fell, leading to rising rural debts. In the rural areas, in the village areas, people used to take loan from the money lenders and they used to cultivate rice or plant rubber. They used to invest their money in these plantations. So naturally, when the prices fell, they could not earn, so they fell into debts. Rising debt, rural debts. Now that was one reason. Number 2, the poorest provinces. In our previous class also we have learned about the poorest provinces, Nage An and Ha Tin. These two are the poorest areas or provinces. Had an old radical tradition. They had their own radical tradition and have been called the electrical fuses of Vietnam. These two areas are called the electrical fuses of Vietnam. Why it is called? Because the area itself is very poor. The people are very poor, and naturally there was unemployment and the rural debts. They got the money from the money lenders, and that also created problems. Number 3, when a system was under pressure. So that's why it is called, now here is the answer. When a system was under pressure, they were the first to blow. The system was under pressure. What was the system under? Why was the system under pressure? Because the prices of the rice and the rubber fell, and the people they fall into debt traps, and there was unemployment. So no income. So naturally this was the system under pressure. They were the first to blow. They started raising the voice. They were the first to take out the procession and agitation against the government. Due to unemployment, because there were a lot of unemployment, debts, rural debts and rural uprisings, people started gathering and started forming organization and forming agitation. They started agitation. So now number 4, the French put these uprisings down. The French suppressed these uprisings with great force. French used full force to suppress this uprising in these two areas, these two provinces. And even they used aeroplanes to bomb the demonstration. They even bombed the villages, and number of revolutionaries or number of demonstrators were killed. Even the villages were bombed and set fire to those villages. They had to run. People had to run away for safety. Number 5, in February 1930, now we'll talk about the new leader. In February 1930, Ho Chi Minh is a nationalist. Ho Chi Minh Ho Chi Minh brought together all the nationalist groups in Vietnam. There were so many nationalist groups, and Ho Chi Minh united all of them to set up Vietnamese Communist Party. So Ho Chi Minh set up Vietnamese Communist by uniting all the nationalist groups. As he was inspired, this Ho Chi Minh was inspired by the militant demonstrations of the European Communist Party. He was inspired by the West. There in the Western countries, especially in European countries, the Communist Party, or even in Russia, the Communist parties, how they started their revolution. He was inspired by those revolutions, by their ideas, and Ho Chi Minh unified all the groups and set up Vietnamese Communist Party. So now in the next, Vietnamese had to fight two-front war. So in our next class we'll have to talk about we'll learn about Vietnamese, why they had to fight two front wars. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for your watching. So Keep on watching, don't waste your time at home. So that's all for today. Thank you very much. We'll meet in the next class.